Hey guys, it's Ashley, and wow, this episode ending was I wasn't that shocked like most people were, because I think in a recap I mentioned before, like a few months ago or maybe like a month ago, that I said that I watched a video of why Ezra could be A, and I was saying that it and all the clues that were in that video, it made sense. So I kind of had that thought in my mind, in the back of my mind, that maybe he could be part of the A team or A. I don't get why he would do that in the first place. Like, and that's the part, like, it's confusing me. Like, did he know Allison? Was he the board shorts guy? Like, I'm just like kind of confused on that part. I'm gonna roll my intro right now. Hey guys, it's Ashley. It is time for another Pretty Little Liars recap and review time with me.
Taking this one to the grave. If I show you, then I know you won't tell what I said. 'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
This is my Pretty Little Liars mid-season summer finale, season 4, episode 12. Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And this whole episode, well, not the whole episode, but like half of the episode took place in Ravenswood, which I'm so happy it did, because I love it when they go to Ravenswood. It's like so cool, and I don't know, it just kind of intrigues me for some reason, like just how creepy it is. So at the beginning, they're at Spencer's house, and she receives a package with these magic 8 balls, all of their names on each of the magic 8 balls, and it was like some kind of threatening message from A. And that's when Spencer says World War A has begun, and it's like bam, like, and then the theme song, and it was like, I don't know, it was just kind of like, whoa, like she actually said that in the episode. I don't know if that was just me, I'm just weird like that. Good news is they dropped the charges for Hannah's mom, because that guy Travis finally spoke up to the police that it wasn't Ashley Marin who killed Detective Weldon. I guess he reveals that it's CC Drake, because it was all over like the news stations that first there was a drawing, and it's like, oh, that's CC, and then the next time they showed the TV, it was, they identified the drawing as CC Drake, and so everyone is like trying to look for her, and Hannah and Caleb are looking for Mona, because somehow Hannah still thinks Mona can help them find Cece, but Caleb doesn't trust Mona at all. Like, who would? I don't trust Mona at all. So he's with Hannah in the car, watching and waiting and parked outside of Mona's house. And Mona's parents aren't home, and she thinks she saw Mona upstairs, but Caleb thinks it was A. Arya went on a movie date, like just at her house, like one of those black and white movies, but Jake fell asleep with her. Like, I don't know, like, I mean, they make a cute couple. Like, it's so hard, because now that, like, I know for sure that Ezra is on the A team or A, it like just kind of crushes my dream, you know, just crushes it. Like, who does Arya have? Like, I guess she has Jake, but like, no, she also kissed Ezra in this episode. Like, they kind of reconnected at this coffee shop, and then she kissed him, and she kind of was shocked at first, but then they just started randomly talking again. It was a cute moment, you know, but then like now it's like, oh my gosh, like Arya's gonna be so crushed when she finds out that Ezra is on the A team, unless he's gonna be like Toby, like that whole thing all over again, where Toby was on the A team just to protect Spencer. I kind of hope they are going for that route, but at the same time I hope they won't, because I don't want it to be like a repeat. They got 3 gifts from A. One of them was the magic 8-ball things. One of them was a little coffin with a Mona doll in it with a message saying, no, they got a text message saying that if they don't find Mona, A is gonna find Mona first or something, or kill Mona. So it was something like meaning of that. Then the third one was, it was a box, like a random box, and only Spencer knew how to figure it out, because she took some kind of magic camp or whatever, and so she opened it, and it was like a saw with like a written message on it. That was kind of creepy. Sorry, that was a text from Ravenswood. That was weird. Also, there was a cute Paley moment. Paige and Emily were in Paige's room and they were like cuddling and all of this stuff. It was like cute. Emily was kind of worrying about the whole A thing, the whole CC thing, all of that. But Paige was there to somewhat comfort her, which was a good thing because I think Emily worries way too much. Toby takes over Caleb's shift of spying on Mona's house because he's worried about Hannah and all of that. So Toby finally sees a car driving, Jenna's car, and Shauna's driving it. So he follows her all the way to wherever she goes, to this random bed and breakfast place where she hands Mona this paper and they're talking about, Mona's like, are you sure she's okay with it? And then Shauna's like, well, she has to be, or she has no choice to be. And it was just kind of there, like that was it. And then they're talking, but you can't really hear what they're saying. Also, Anna was seen like writing like these papers at this coffee shop, and Toby happened to be there, and she dropped one of the papers when she left. So Toby took it, and it was this address of Melissa, all this bunch of writing. So we find out that Sean is somehow, he's connected to Ren, and Melissa is moving in with Ren. The 4 girls all head off to Ravenswood because they get a message about this magic show. So they like Google it or like search it, and they find that a magic show is happening in Ravenswood. So they think it's gonna get them closer to finding out more about CC, Redcoat A, Allie, all of this stuff. So they go to Ravenswood, they find the magic show, and the magician, I found him really creepy. Like, I don't know, and there was this really creepy guy, like this really tall, creepy old dude, like kept staring at them. Like, I don't know, this place is really creepy. And then Mrs. Grunwald was there too, like she kept eyeing them up. But the magician brought Arya on stage for his disappearing act. And Arya didn't want to at first because, of course, she doesn't do well in closed spaces. But she goes up anyway because the guy wouldn't stop bugging her to go in and volunteer. So she goes in, and everything's going well. So she goes back to Spencer and Hannah, and she's like, where's Emily? And then they don't know where Emily is, and they get a text message, something, it was in French, but it meant sleight of hand. That means like when they were all looking at Arya, A took Emily. And then so Arya calls Emily, Emily answers, and she doesn't know where she is, but she's trapped in a box and it's dark and she can hear a chainsaw. So Spencer GPS where the call is coming from, and they also see a red coat running. So they run after that red coat. Emily is in a box on this track, and there's a huge saw at the end, like this rotating saw, and she's like screaming, she's like, help, help, and they're trying to get her out. And so they're like trying to cut open the box and all of this stuff, and it's like right towards the end, like right when the chain is almost hitting the box, they stop it, they find a button, and then there's 2 red coats now, and this is when it gets like all like, oh my gosh, like this is so crazy. And but Emily's still freaking out in the box, and so Hannah gets her out of the box while Arya chases one of the red coats up the stairs in that building, and Spencer chases this other red coat out of the building into another building. The one Arya was chasing after happened to be Cece, and good thing she took those martial arts, because then like that was kind of scary. So then Cece kind of like on this rope, and she kind of like, the rope breaks, but Arya grabs her hand, and Arya loses her grip because her red coat rips. So then they all go next to her. You think that she's dead, and Arya is kind of distraught. She's like, oh my gosh. She's kind of panicking a bit. Like, who wouldn't be like, you think like she's dead? I didn't fall for it. You know, like I was thinking, this would be like a weird time for her to just be dead and just cut off her character like that. So I had a feeling that she was going to be alive. But while they're comforting Arya, you can see like, sees his hands moving like that. And I was kind of scared. Like I thought she would like try to like jump them or like try to hurt them. But instead, they look on the side, and then she's gone. Like, she's nowhere to be found. But the one that Spencer was chasing, she leads other 3 girls to where supposedly Allie led Spencer. Supposedly A's warehouse. Like where A tracks everyone. Not only the girls, but the police station, Mrs. Grunwald, everyone. everyone in that whole like bunch of mess. And so there's all these posters of Allie, these big screenshots, like these big, huge portraits of Allie. It was kind of creepy. And all these huge boards of all the girls' storylines and what happened to them, and Byron's story about him hooking up, like everything about every detail about everyone. And there was like these 5 computers, and they were like all password locked, and they were trying to find out the password, and Caleb was on the phone with Hannah trying to give her directions, but they couldn't get it unlocked. And go to one of the closet in the warehouse, and they're like, I think A is a guy, and you see all these coats, like these men coats, and you're like, oh my gosh, like it's kind of obvious because Ezra wears those a lot. But then now they know that A is a he. Caleb doesn't like the idea that they're alone, so caught the next bus to Ravenswood, and so they run out of the building to find Allie, and he thinks Allie's gonna be there. So they also saw like a note thing in the warehouse saying, they were writing about the time that was gonna be the magic show, that time is gonna be there. And Mrs. Grunwald, she just randomly appears, and she's like, I wouldn't go there if I were you. Like, she's kind of creepy, but she's helpful. They're like, how do you know we're going there? And she just like knows what they're doing. She reveals that Alison is alive. It backflashes to that time of the Halloween episode. Remember when Allie's, I think it was a Halloween episode, well, Allie's hand was out of the dirt, like trying to grab for someone, and someone's hand grabs her out. We all thought that was like her twin or something, because we didn't know who the hell Mrs. Grunwald was at that time. But that it like totally like explains it all now. Allie was calling Mrs. Grunwald from the sorority house to seek help, get answers, and she did lie to Spencer. But she had to, because to protect Allie, because he is after her. When the night she got missing, she drove to Rosewood and went to her backyard and saw her hand pulling out, grabbed her out of the dirt, and she had a huge wound on her head. Remember, she did get hit. Took her in her car and drove her to the hospital. She went in the hospital to ask for help, but when she got back in her car, Allie was gone. And the reason why she didn't go to the police, because Allie doesn't want to be found. And so Mrs. Grunwald said that it's dangerous to go after her because A is after her and will hurt Allie or them. So she said to leave Ravenswood because they're being watched and he's here. That's a scary thought. And so they go to this shop, and Ari's like, okay, we're crashing a party, so because they're looking at these weird like old-fashioned type outfits, I guess, so they blend in with everyone. So they show them going in the store, and you see this random guy. They don't show the face, they just show the back. And just by the way he was walking, I could tell this was Ezra already. And so they show that guy walking into A's warehouse, like their hideout. And then finally the camera just pans into the guy's face, and it's Ezra. Bam! Ezra is A. And then he looks really frustrated, and so towards the end is like in a gas mask like that, and like the whole suit. So I'm guessing that was Ezra. That was the end. So I'm guessing the whole Halloween episode, the 2 hours episode, is gonna be them at Ravenswood finding out about Allie and Ezra being A and all that. But yeah, because there was a leaked promo that had hashtag Ezra with an A, and then ABC Family tried to fool us by putting a whole bunch of other promos with like Aria, hashtag Aria with an A, all these other ones, and Mona. But then they're like, nice try, we already saw the Ezra one first. Wow, this is taking a huge turn on this Pretty Liars series, and I can't wait for the Halloween episode. I can't wait for Ravenswood. Leave me in the comments down below if you want me to do recaps on Ravenswood. I know like a few people said that they wanted me to, like way before, like in the beginning of this year, but I want to know if like people still want to watch that or not. I'm gonna go now, and leave me in the comments what shocked you the most besides that whole Ezra being or did you call it? Like I kind of called it. I kind of had like some suspicions that he could be on the 18th. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay subscribed because I will be doing the Halloween episode for sure. And of course, when regular series return in January next year. That seems really far away, but you will survive. Bye guys, peace out.